Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has officially announced that he will seek a third term in 2026, setting up what could be a historic run in a state where most governors rarely last beyond 2 terms. If he wins, Walz will become one of the longest-serving governors in Minnesota's history, breaking a pattern that has held fame for decades. Walz, Democrat first elected in 2018, released a campaign video on YouTube declaring that his work as governor isn't finishing. He said, and I quote, "I've seen how Minnesotans stand by each other in the hardest moment, and this year has been especially painful. We have lost lives to gun violence, and like so many, I'm heartbroken and angry. But tough times are when we must pull together." End of quote. The governor, who recently stepped on the national stage as Vice President Kamala Harris' running mate during the 2024 presidential election, has gained broader recognition across the country. His blunt attack on Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, calling them weird, became a viral political moment. Still, his critics, especially Republicans, have hammered him for past remarks, particularly when he compared Trump-era immigration enforcement to Nazi Germany's Gestapo, a comment he has refused to walk back despite heavy criticism in Congress. At 61, Walz has been floated as a possible Democratic candidate for a White House in 2028, but he told Axios earlier this year that if he pursued another term as governor, he would not run for president. Earlier in 2024, he also ruled out seeking the U.S. Senate seat left open by Senator Tina Smith, saying his focus remained on leading Minnesota. His decision to make re-election official comes after a challenging period of the state. His close ally, former Minnesota House Speaker Belissa Hoffman, was assassinated earlier this year, a shocking event that shook state politics. Just weeks later, Minnesota grieved again after a mass shooting at a Minneapolis church killed the 2 children and wounded 21 people. Despite the tragedies, Walz continued to highlight his legislative victories, particularly from 2023 session when Democrats controlled both chambers. That year, he signed into law a slate of progressive policies, including free school meals for every student. This accomplishment cemented his image as a hand-on governor, but also opened him to greater scrutiny over his tendency to exaggerate details or stumble with his words. Walz won his first gubernatorial race in 2018 by more than 11 percentage points and secured re-election in 2022 by nearly 8 points. But winning a third straight term will not be easy. Minnesota hasn't re-elected a governor 3 times since 4-year terms began in 1963 and Republicans since May opening. On the GOP side, businessman and Army veteran Kendall Walz entered 2026 race in May, aiming to become Minnesota's first black governor. Former state senator and physician Scott Jensen, who lost in 2022, is also running again. State Representative Christine Robbins, who has led the effort to investigate fraud in government programs, is the only sitting Republican office holder in the contest so far. Minnesota has leaned Democratic for years, but with tighter race in recent cycles and a tied state house heading into 2025, the battle for the governor's nomination in 2026 could be one of the toughest years.